Hello, Gemini. I'm so happy to be here and talking to you guys. I'm Chris. Welcome to your January Taroscope 2019, eh? Lots of good stuff, I think, happening for our sign this year. Love, finances, getting on point, right? Happiness, fulfillment. I think that's the name of the game for Gemini in 2019. I'm trying to get like my little tree there with all the lights. I need to fix those lights and that candle. I tried to make it cute, but it didn't work out. We'll see. Hold on. All right, Gemini. So, just had a little bit of an emotional moment before I did this reading. I had to like collect myself. But this is what our energy is, right? We are the ones who bring lightness. We are the ones who bring optimism and laughs and good times, right? We are the ones who fuss with our hair endlessly because it looks kind of weird. And I don't know what's happening there. All right, so Gemini, we're ready to get into this, yeah? Let's go ahead and just jump right in. See what energies we have going on for our sign for the month of January. In the description, you'll have links to private readings. I also want to give a special shout out to the people who've been donating. That has been blowing my mind. I never actually thought people were going to do it. And I got to tell you, I love when you guys buy personal readings. I love doing them. But like, there's something so special about those donations, right? It makes me feel like the stuff I'm doing here for you, like these free videos are meaningful to you and that like you appreciate them. And I love those so much. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and just jump in, see the central energy we got going on for Gemini for the month of January 2019. Central energy for Gemini. Advice, insight, guidance. Let's do this. Hey, this just came up for Taurus as their central issue. There might be some of you dealing with Tauruses, right? There might be like, there's an intertwining of that energy, but Two of Wands. This is like telling me like what I was just saying, where we're building towards the future, where we're feeling optimistic, where we're feeling visionary. Gemini, this month, this year especially, it's a powerful time to speak things into reality, to articulate what it is that you want, to create vision, to set intentions. Yesterday was the new moon in Capricorn. Some might say the official start of the new year. Perfect time, guys, to get clear on what we want. Visualize it, speak it into existence. I think right now, Gemini is barreling towards the future, and I think it's because we know how much promise it has. We know that in the distance, if we keep working, we're going to reach that castle. And it's like, maybe for a while we haven't seen it. Maybe for a while we've gotten glimpses of it, right? And now it's like it's finally coming into view. We're finally ready to step forward and make the choice to be different, to make the choice to put our desires, our needs first. And that's why love is coming into our lives. That's why financial success is coming into our lives. Yes, we're very lucky and we're generally pretty good at everything we do, right? But it's because we're deciding, right? We're making our lives, we're making ourselves a priority. We're making our future a priority. We're tired of being these people who just kind of struggle, right? Who have to like string things together at the last minute. I don't think that's going to be us right now in January, right? I think we're really like ready to get serious. This Capricorn energy, I'm telling you, man, it's been bringing out some like, you know, in another video, I what's the word? Where you like make a word acronym, making it to acronym, right? The word BDE, but I'm just gonna say it because you guys can take it, that big dick energy. Capricorn is just bringing that out. It's like you're ready to make shit happen. You're feeling yourself, right? You're feeling a little swaggy. Look, now we have the full moon, right? We see ourselves for who we are. We see our potential. We're getting in touch with like the greatness that is possible. And it's not just something that's distant anymore. We're feeling it right now. It's like this is the thing that's driving us. It's like why have I been for so long putting up with bullshit? Why for so long have I been keeping myself down? Sometimes, Gemini, I think, and not to give ourselves too much of a pat on the back, but so far this is what's coming up, right? I think sometimes we're afraid of our own greatness. I think we can be afraid of success. We can be afraid of the way it might disconnect us from other people, right? It can make us feel apart. But the thing that we have to remember is that we're a sign of connection. We're very gregarious, right? We love people, we love to be around people, we care about people. So take heart that I think the gifts that we have, Gemini, I think this is part of what's making the change, right? The gifts that we have and we know we have, the skills, the talents, all those things that we have, the potential, it's going to become something that we can share. It's going to become something that we can like pass on to the people around us. And I think that's what makes us comfortable with this, right? Especially for spiritual people. Sometimes we have a problem with owning greatness, with owning success and power. But the things you can do with that power, Gemini, it's like, you know, one of those superhero movies where like, you know, you have this gift and now you feel compelled because you have this power, because you have this talent, because you have this skill, because you have this intelligence, this charm, or whatever it is for you, right? It's like you have to put it to use. And right now, the gifts that the universe has given our sign are coming into fruition. Ace of Cups in reverse. I think there's been a lot of feeling of separation and isolation. I think that we've experienced a lot of, you know, our cup not feeling full. There's been some, you know, there's a reason that this card showed up in this way rather than say like the Three of Cups, right? The Three of Swords rather, which typically is for heartbreak and sorrow. But here we have the Ace of Cups in reverse. And I think what this is telling us is that we have the ability to fill our own cup. That the idea that we've been sad and lonely has sort of been our own creation. Not that it's not true, right? Not that we haven't experienced real loneliness. Not that we haven't experienced real sadness or real sorrow, right? But this is a sign that we have the ability. The universe is gifting us this cup. And whether or not it's upright or upside down is now in our control. But we have had issues. We as an intellectual sign sometimes take for granted how much our feelings can affect like the things that we do and the way that we live and our sense of power and our sense of self. The power here, Gemini, is also a big heart. You know, we are sort of like children in the zodiac, right? We can be very sensitive. We can be easily wounded. I think that's why we always try, why Gemini has a reputation for being fake or whatever, because we do try to not make other people feel bad, right? We do try to be personable, to be nice to people, right? Because I think when you act that way, it's because you know how it feels when people are like rude to you. You know how it feels when people are disconnected to you, right? So coming into the month of January, I think ready to make some changes with regard to Knight of Wands, right? With regards to this past hurt that we felt. And I'm saying past because the way I'm doing the spread, it's sort of been, I look at the energies that are surrounding us, right? But so far, like my experience has been like the cards that come out earlier are kind of like, the first card is kind of like our ideals, and then we move through what's been happening, right? So by the end, we're going to get to the point where we're kind of ending the month. And do you see what I mean about the ability to have your own control over things? The Knight of Wands, ambitious, powerful, self-assured, confident, right? We need to change our relationship to power. We need to not see it as something that is damaging, something that's hurtful, something that people with big egos have, right? In our hands, we can do great things with this. Now, Gemini is one of those signs where, like, you look at public figures and sometimes it's like, why the fuck are our signs so batty sometimes? Donald Trump, Kanye West, Azalea Banks, right? These smart people who, for some reason, it seems to, like, they've gone off the deep end in a way. Those people don't know how to handle responsibly the power that has been given our sign. It kind of, in a way, drives them a little fucking crazy. I believe that. The Knight of Wands, in its worst, becomes a tyrant. He becomes like someone who walks over people. You know, someone who doesn't know how to handle power. But guys, look, this is what I'm getting at, right? Anything rooted in love, anything rooted in doing the right thing, being caring for people. Now, you have a choice, right? Do we stay in this place where we're in the Ace of Cups reversed, and now we act out, right? Now we get mad at people, now we lash out. Have you been feeling maybe a little angry, Gemini? Have you been acting out a little bit? I can tell you, I know how that feels. But now we have the choice, right? Do we use this power? Do we use the darkness of this power, right? Darkness feels strong, it feels good. That's one of our parts of ourselves, right? The dark twin. Who says that, like, look at him. It's almost like he can handle this business, but he's not going to do it in a way that's going to be conducive to our better well-being, to the well-being of the people around us, right? So now it's a little time, Gemini, to rein that darker part of ourselves in, right? To not be comfortable with dwelling in the feelings that we get of being powerful when we're being dark, when we're being malicious, when we're being, like, angry. And now I think it's time to move towards the lighter side of us, right? The side that is gracious, the side that is caring and sensitive and comfortable with people, right? And comfortable with love and feelings. See, because it's throwing us out of balance. What did I just say about, like, coming in harmony with both sides of ourselves? We might have been a little out of balance. We might have been overdoing it a little bit, Gemini. We might have been overindulging in certain things. We might have been indulging in, like, negativity. We might have been, like, shirking our responsibilities to our partnerships. You know, whether it's at work or in a relationship, or sometimes even with ourselves, Gemini, right? Has there been a little self-sabotage? Has there been a little self-destructiveness? Things are out of balance right now. The eclipse that we just had, the new moon, is an opportunity for us to get right with ourselves, to get a strong foundation, to find balance and harmony within ourselves. That's the name of the game with Gemini, right? This duality. Because look, we have now 2 twos here, right? One is promising and optimistic. The other is a little draining. This is a beautiful month, I think, Gemini, to really come home to ourselves, to really start to feel comfortable in our own skin, to really accept who we are, for better and for worse, and to find power in a different way. Find power in a way that makes us better, that makes the world better, that makes the people around us better. Because this is not it. This is not it. It's funny because as a Gemini, sometimes I've had a tendency to see, like, the nicer side, the light twin, as weak. And then you see what we have here. But now it's time to start seeing that lightness as power. However you have to for yourself. See it as a strength. 5 of Wands in reverse. Now, as you see, we're coming around to the other side of the spread. Here, I'll show you real quick so you can see kind of what it looks like. This candle's in the way, I'll move it, but you see what I mean about how like we're starting here and then we have this experiences and now things are shifting. Now this shows us where we're going into, right? The energies that we're moving into. 5 of Wands in reverse. Coming out of conflict. Not being so combative. Not feeling so at odds with other people. Sometimes when you're at odds with other people, it's a creation. It's a creation of your own. You might have been feeling a lot of imagined conflicts, Gemini. Think people are against you and no one's actually against you. There might be people who don't like you that much. That's fine. But you're not up against like this place where you just have no place to fit in, right? There's no place where we find the people who make us feel good with this card coming up like this, right? We find like the negative aspects of conflict become so apparent. We reject negativity now. Not because we're a little bunch of sensitive snowflakes, but because living in that darkness is not what we do. I always think this about Scorpios, right? I love Scorpios so much, and there's something that I relate to very strongly about them, right? I think the darker side of our personality relates to that. But the thing I can't get over with Scorpios is that they get stuck in that. They live in darkness. For us, right? We're Mercury. We're Hermes. We are the ones who can dip our foot in that pond and dip in that foot in that pond, but we're not of it. We never become of it. That's why we're the messengers, right? We can connect with a lot of different energies without it becoming us. So if you've let yourself become that, Gemini, this month is asking you to turn your ambitions towards creating positive things. Turn your ambition towards happiness. Turn your ambition towards connection. Towards taking your future seriously, right? And recognizing, like, right now in the moment, what are the things that actually help us build towards that, and what are the things that are taking away from it? And invest more and more and more in the things that are building, right? This is about harmony. This is about harmonious relationships, symbiotic relationships, things that are mutually exclusive, not exclusive. I don't know, things that are beneficial for both people. So there's a lot here of love and duality and of partnership. So that's why I know we have Jupiter in Sagittarius, right? Lots of luck this year in terms of our relationships. And I think that's why this is so important. Because when we connect with people in a powerful way, we get the things we want. And Gemini, it's just kind of time to turn the charm on. Time to be your best self. People don't like to be around people who are negative and broody. People don't want to spend their time around that. Do you see what I'm saying about how these cards are showing this like transition? Because now we started off with this place of hurt and maybe like power that was being misused, right? Or misdirected. And now we're finding this balance. We're trying to get balance again. And then now we come out of conflict. We start to feel connected to people. We start to feel connected to our environment. We start to feel connected to our friends, our family, our relationships. And then we're in our power. Gemini, I'm going to say this again. This is how I started it out, right? But remember how I started the reading talking about the Two of Wands, which isn't even about creation, but what did I say? How it's a great time to speak things into being? How we can create now with our words, with our thoughts. This, by the end of the month, we're gonna, and especially I think by the full moon in 2 weeks. Full moon in Leo. Leo? Yeah, Leo. We're gonna be coming full circle. We're gonna be ending January feeling sharp, feeling smart, feeling put together, feeling like you can create the life that you want to make. Again, I started off this reading with saying, Gemini, we're creating. We are creating. We know what we want. Can't make this shit up, guys. Bottom of the deck, 2 of Cups. So, lots of 2s. The 2s in tarot represent force, right? It takes the elemental force that we experience in like the Ace of Pentacles, in the two of Wands. I mean the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Cups, and it puts it into motion. So now look what happens, right? We are motivated by our desire to connect. We're motivated by our desire to feel love passionately, to feel connection to people, to feel support. We might already be experiencing it. And now what does it do? It takes us out of this dark place, takes us out of this sadness, takes us out of this despair, this imbalance, this overindulgence in like crazy ass shit. And self-sabotage and just not caring for ourselves, not taking care of ourselves right. And then love becomes the thing that motivates us. So if you're fortunate enough to be in a loving relationship, this could be giving us life, spark, right? We are the sign that thrives on powerful companionship. We're the twins. We do really well when we have people in our lives who are supportive and loving. So Gemini, what are we creating this month? Prosperity, abundance, coming back to ourselves, coming back to our passions, coming back to the things that make us unique, the things that make us who we are. If you felt off track with, say, career ambitions, if you felt off track with what you want to do with your life, what like your dreams, if those dreams have felt off track, guys, this month is where we get that mojo back. Might be an air sign thing. This came up for Aquarius too, in a different way. But the whole idea of connecting again to the thing that makes us passionate, the things that make us unique and who we are. All right, so let's pull a couple outcome cards here, Gemini, for January to see what we can expect in that regard. But guys, I think this year is a big turning point this month. I wanted to say that in the beginning, but I was like, that sounds cliche. Of course, it's easy to say it's a turning point, but it's a real turning point. So I'm going to show the cards again. Real turning point. From where we are here, so now look at this power, where we start. You see what I mean when I said like we have this sense of our power, we have this sense of our potential? And now as we go through the month, we get grounded in that. That potential starts to become things that become real. We own our potential. Yeah? All right, so let's see outcome for Gemini for January. Can't make this shit up. 2 of Cups. Kind of already said all I needed to say about that, right? Love is coming our way, Gemini. Connection to people is coming our way. The love of the things that we do, right? My meditation instructor always says that love is more than just romance. Love is what we're passionate about. We love what we do. We love where we live. We love our favorite restaurant. Whatever it is, it's the same force that gives us passion and drive and colors our life with things that make life worth living. So, abundance of love, abundance of passion, all those good things, right? An abundance of prosperity. 7 of Pentacles. What did I say we're manifesting? Abundance, prosperity. Guys, if you've been struggling with money, right, which we might have been. If you've been struggling with your career, which you might have been, this month is where we see that change. Where we start to reap what we've sown. And even if we've been a little negligent in sowing things in the material world, we're reaping what we've sown in ourselves, right? The growth that we've experienced over the past few years now comes to manifestation. Now, you know, I was thinking about this with regards to writing. I'll tell you guys a quick story. I was on a great track when I first moved to LA. I went to grad school for writing, for fiction, and I took some courses in screenwriting while I was there, and I fell in love with it. And I moved to Los Angeles to pursue a screenwriting career. When I first came out here, within the first year or so, I started to get success. I got accepted into fellowship programs. I sold a script for a short film. You know, I was going places. I was doing meetings with managers. I was meeting going to meetings at networks. And I was in a relationship that was kind of going awry. So I felt like, oh, well, if I'm doing this well in this like relationship that's difficult, I'm gonna like just skyrocket when we're not together anymore. So we broke up. And can I tell you that was 3 years ago? Tell me the last time I wrote something new. 3 years ago. The last 3 years have been struggle. And I could not get creative. I could not sit down and write a story. I don't know why, I just couldn't. And you know what I had a revelation about a week or two ago? What I was doing in all that time was living my life. And what I did in all that time was collect experiences and stories. And now I'm in the process of starting to write a script for a movie that is all about what it feels like to start over when you're like in your 30s, right out of a relationship, long-term relationship. Why I'm telling you that story is because I want to put it, this card is reminding me of that, the personal experiences we've been going through, the hardships, the struggles, now become things that we can use for our advantage. Now become things that make us move forward in our careers. Brings us closer to what we want. Emotional abundance, material abundance. Gemini. Hey, last but not least, the Hermit. I don't think this is isolation. I think this is wisdom. I think this is the assimilation of experience. I think this is telling us that we've become fucking smart. We've become fucking wise. This to me, when I'm looking at the Hermit, it's not about the Hermit going into nature. This is the Hermit kind of coming out of it. Who's been on this journey. Why did I tell you the story I just told you? This is the story of somebody who's coming out of their experiences, out of their hardship and struggle, and is now bringing what they've learned back into their lives, back into the real world. Gemini, this is what we're doing. It was not for nothing what we've gone through. Our struggles are now taking on meaning. They're becoming things that are of value. They bring us closer to the love that we've always wanted. The partnership, the support that we've always wanted. We're clear-headed. Look, both cards of Mercury. Mercury and Virgo, right? Sharp. What did I say in the beginning? Speak things, Gemini. I'm telling you, this month, every time you do something, every time you want something, say it out loud. From your mouth to God's ears. Or whatever you believe in. To Spirit's ears, right? Our words have power to create. Our thoughts have power to create. So use it wisely. All right, Gemini, so I have this, I don't know if I was going to do it, but I'm feeling like real connected right now. I have this Oracle deck I've been working with for a couple of months. I wasn't ready to bring it to my readings, but like I'm just saying fuck it and I'm gonna start. And I've been doing it for some of the signs and it's been really good. This is the Supra Oracle. This is the kind of like the companion Oracle deck to the tarot cards I use. And they're really beautiful and really like profound cards. And let's just pull one here to see like what last bit of advice Spirit has for us, for our highest selves. What kind of guidance can be offered for us going forward into the new year, right? The Hidden. This is about the things that were buried deep. This is about connecting to that hermit idea, right? Of all the knowledge and understanding, all the secrets within ourselves that we've come to get to know, right? The parts of ourselves that we've come to understand. Now that stuff has meaning. Now it has purpose. Now it's gonna almost feel spiritual, what we've been through. Because the way we put it out into the world is gonna make it meaningful. It's gonna make it powerful. So Gemini, power. This is like our talents. This is like the things that make us unique. This is like the things that no one else has, that we have. Individually, as a sign collectively, but individually, what we have to offer. We found it, and now we're bringing it to the surface. All right? Gemini, I love you so much. Personal readings are in the description. The cards are going to be in the description as well. Instagram, follow me there. I'm going to have some tarot-related content start coming out in my stories. And also, the donations, the link to PayPal is there if you want to help support the channel. I love you long time. Gemini, 2019 is going to be a year where we find ourselves and we find our power and we come back to ourselves. We come home to ourselves. It's been a long journey and now we're finding it again, right? Now we're finding like what a bunch of bad bitches we are. Bottom of the deck, meaningful work, 8 of Pentacles, right? We're doing what we love. We're moving towards a place where we can wake up every day and like our lives. Gemini, I love you forever. You're the best. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.